Yo. All right, yo. So the issue is right, and I know you're kind of new, right? So me and my baby mom, we ain't been together for a minute, right? So we live apart, and my daughters don't like to be at their mom's at all. So, my daughter doesn't want to be there. She wants me to come pick her up, but her mom is like, she always gets upset and takes it out on me. But it's like it's more of an issue. It all stems with her mom, but it also stems with her sister, but it has something to do with her mom. So like when they get around their mom, they're always fighting for attention. They end up doing something. Their mom does not know how to correct her or fix the situation. So it ends up being like a bad situation to where um they start fighting and not want to be around each other. So there's been a couple of times where they were fighting at their mom's house and then they came over here. The mom didn't fix the situation before they came over here. And when Raja came over here, they got mad at each other and she wanted to go home, right? And I was like, no, she just got here. I don't like no, she shouldn't go home. But and I told her mom, no, she can't go home. She's like at my house, and the mom comes and picks her up anyway, like behind my back almost. And so that situation was like a couple of times because of another underlining situation. So recently, my daughter has not wanted to leave my house. Tonight, she wants to come over to my house. She's crying. She's flipping out. She's doing all this stuff, right? So, um, instead of her letting her come over, she is saying that I can't come pick her up when she's done it 3 times when I've said no, she can't come pick her up. It's just like weird, and every all the problems stem from the like my baby mom. Like she's not a good person at all. Like she's actually an evil, bad person, like wholeheartedly, and I'm not even like joking about that. I wouldn't say she's like abusive, like how you hear about these other moms and stuff, like hitting the kids constantly or doing stuff. But she's messed up. She like attacked me like a few times before my kids were born. Um, just a lot of like messed up, twisted stuff, and she's a white woman, right? And after her, I'll probably never go that route ever again. And truthfully like, even a situation where I'm gonna tell you, like her dad said the most racist thing to me that I've ever heard in my life. They had a boat, and I'm just gonna put you on it like how her brain thinks. They got a boat. I'm trying to like water ski, right? I could wakeboard because I skateboard, but water ski is like another whole thing. I've never done it. So plus we weren't in his like speedboat, we were in his pontoon boat. So we keep trying to get up, and there's a rope that you gotta hang on to. He basically says, I bet you if we tie that rope around your neck you could get up. And I was like, what? Rachel don't even freaking realize what he said. To me, I automatically knew by growing up around white dudes and white men and stuff like that, that they make those types of jokes thinking that black men are ignorant or stupid and we won't actually pick up on the underlying joke, right? But why would you ever joke about putting a rope around a black man's neck? Doesn't make sense. And to her, she didn't even pick up on it. So I'm like, like I don't even want to be around them anymore, right? See, that's the way I feel, but I can't handle myself in that situation. For one, at the time, I did have a kid with her, right? So it's like I've had to mature in a certain situation. Um, I've matured a lot, right? Me at the age of 20, I would say the age of 27 till like now, yeah, I would have, but I can't do stuff to put myself in jeopardy of my kids. especially like a white man. We were in a like a very racist place. I put my hands on this white man. I could get, it's gonna come back on me, and that's the situation. Realistically, what I started doing is not wanting to go and spend time with them or go on trips. And then she took that out on me, and I like to. I explained it to her. That's equivalent to like if my father were to sexually harass her, right? Or you know what I mean? Do something very like sexualized to her, touch her, or do something to her, and then I don't get mad, and I want her to keep coming around my father without addressing the situation. You feel what I'm saying? That's the issue, and like she doesn't understand it. And then the crazy part about it is, um, their her parents' best friends are my neighbors. They weren't my direct neighbors beside me, but they lived across the street. They were the first people I ever dealt with racism. The first time I ever got called the N word was by them. The, I used to have to catch the bus in this guy's driveway. Me and my mother were in I was in kindergarten, standing in the driveway. The guy comes out to take his trash. My mom says hello. He looks at us like he didn't even look at us. He ignored us like we weren't there. Right? So we moved. After that, I was never allowed to go into his house or his yard. And his son literally said, not knowing, my dad doesn't allow N words in our yard. I'm not allowed to be friends with N words. And his son was like that too. I beat his son up I beat his son up over 10 times. I constantly got in trouble when we got older. I broke his nose one time. I broke his glasses. I completely punished this kid over and over again, along with a bunch of other kids. That's what I dealt with when I grew up. And she grew up in the area that we grew up. We grew up in Chester, Virginia, which is like outside of Chesterfield, but right outside of Richmond, Virginia, which is like super fucking racist. So it's already like this big thing of like weird, like why are you friends with them when they're super racist? And then when I feel awkward of being around these people, even at an older age, she don't understand it. And it's just like, and that's the big reason why like we broke up. She likes to blame it on other shit, but it's realistically that, and because she's just like she's I don't know. I feel like mostly all white people are racist unless they look at it and be like, yeah, I am racist and I have to change the shit that I'm racist about because they don't realize how society has made them feel like they're superior over people. And that's what you might see on TikTok are white people are inherently racist, and I would say yes, all of them are, unless they do the work to not be racist, point blank. And it's even with her, like having two black kids, and she wants to put them in an all Hispanic school, and there's barely any black people in the school. You feel what I'm saying? Like no black mother is really gonna do that. You know what I mean? Like that's something a black mom or a black parent would do, right? Because she wants them to learn Spanish. What the fuck do my daughters really need? Like that's something they can take later on. Why do they need to learn Spanish now? So now my daughters go to a school that's almost all Hispanics and white people. I have no problem. My best friend is El Salvadorian. I don't have a problem with that. But realistically, what do they need to know about like that culture? They need to be around other black kids and stuff like that because that's who they are. They're not white. Once they have black in them, they're black. That's it. Yo, what's up, Christmas Live? Yeah, but that's like a thing that a lot of white parents do. They want their kids to learn Spanish. Her parents did that, so she wants them to be bilingual because she's bilingual and she went to Spain and stuff like that. But that's not the point that I'm saying. I learned Spanish, right? I love Spanish. I think that we're all the same. But the point that I'm saying is there's no other black kids there. my kids are black, and that's a big part of growing up. I went to a predominantly white school around all white kids, and I always felt out of place, especially because I was around racist white people, and all the time they always made me feel like I was not a part of them. It was hard. Like we had this. I remember the first thing I was like, there was this little girl that liked me, right? I gotta go right after this, and then I'll be back. But there was this girl. This is when I found out about racism, right? There was this little white girl. I started kindergarten. I didn't feel out of place because I was black, but I fell out of place because I'm going to kindergarten, right? So I get into kindergarten, I'm nervous, and then I start meeting friends and stuff. I met my best friend who is now passed away, and then I met another good friend of mine who kind of like we went down a different path, and we didn't really be friends after that because of something that happened to his little brother and stuff. But that's besides the point. There was this little white girl. Her name was Erica, and she took a liking to me. She always wanted to sit beside me and stuff like that. And she came up to me and was like, "Hey, you want to be my boyfriend?" I didn't know what that meant, but I was like, "Yeah, I'll be your boyfriend." It was cool. She showed me attention and stuff. So we sat beside each other. But then she started wanting to kiss me at recess, at nap time, and all this. So we did this for a long period of time. Come to back to school night when everybody meets the parents and so on and so forth, and the parents meet the other kids that are in the class and their parents, and everybody mingles and stuff like that. We go, and I'm with my parents. She's with her parents, and she comes over. Uh, she comes over to me, and she's telling her mom like, "Hey, this is Lane. This is Lane. This is who I'm talking about." And the mom is this big, fat, white, obese lady. She's probably like 350 pounds. I'm not even lying. 350, 400 pounds. She's like huge. She comes over and she gives you that fake little, that Karen, um, like niceness and shit. Like, oh, so nice, and faking like she's like cool with me and shit. And then the dad doesn't say shit. He looks like a pedo or something like that, right? Bald head, white dude, probably was in his 30s. Bald head, looks very nerdy, no style. Probably wearing like a plain like collared t-shirt with some khakis and just no style at all, right? So um, they meet us and stuff, and she's like, "Oh, it's so nice. She says so much about you. I can remember that." Next day, I come to school. Erica's not sitting beside me at the table that we sat beside. At lunch, she's not saying nothing to me. Right, the whole day she's ignoring me. At recess, she comes up to me. She says, "You can't be my boyfriend anymore." And I was like, "Why?" She was like, "Because my parents told me that it's illegal to marry the N word." And I was like, "What?" She was like, "Yeah, black people and white people can't be together or we'll go to jail." And that was it. And I didn't even know what that was. I came home and told my mom, like, "Yo, like, Mom, what's this?" I remember, like, she was giving me a bath and shit. And then my mom broke down everything. Because my mom didn't go to school with white people. They were still segregated when my mom was in school. Yeah, so exactly. I mean, that's kind of what I did. So it's like that was my reality. Ever since that day, I always felt different around white kids, and it kept happening. I would meet friends at school, and they would be like, "You can't come over to my house because you're black." Kids in the neighborhood, same thing. "Hey, you can't come in my yard. You gotta go." "Hey, my dad's about to be home. He doesn't like N words. You gotta go. He'll be mad." All the time. So that's the issue, and I never really had anybody to look like me, really realistically, until I got into second grade and I had a black teacher, and that kind of changed my life. But then after that, it still did not happen. Middle school, we had a couple more black kids that came in, but far and in between, I might have had maybe one in my class out of like all the classes. It wasn't until I got into high school that I started hanging out with almost all black kids, and that's all I hung out with because a different area got to come to my high school, and that's really where I found out who I was and like felt comfortable around a lot of people, even though I still had my childhood friends. which were four white guys. But all four of those white guys are not here anymore because they all ended up on, um, bad things, and they OD'd, and they've gone, left this planet, and they all come from good backgrounds. Some of them did. One of my friends, he never met his dad, and his mom kind of lived in a very bad place. My other friend, his mom always had good money, but she was like kind of like a 304, and she was always with different men and shit. And his dad was crazy and left the world. My other friend, he was super rich, but his family was kind of like weird as well, and just crazy stuff. Well, just like I say, I don't. It's not the fact that I want my daughters to be segregated or not around people, but I think that like you have to think about the school to be more diverse, and the school that they go to is not diverse. It's pretty much all Hispanic, right? And that's it. And besides white kids. So the whole classroom, including the teacher, is Hispanic, and they speak in Spanish pretty much the whole time, except for some other times. And that puts a lot of strain on my daughters, which has completely affected them. One year, my daughter never wanted to go to school because she doesn't understand why all these kids can speak the language and she can't write offhand. So it puts her in this position of feeling like she's an alien or she's not like in the same place. Um, so that's like the issue. I mean, that's just the issue that I'm dealing with, right? And all of that strain and what has happened has caused me to have to do stuff like this. Yo, but I ain't even said, yo, what's up, Ghost Cipher? How you been, homie? I think I remember you. But you see what like I just want to be a good example for y'all. You see what you got to do. You end up having a kid, and you know what I mean. Shit don't work out. Do what you got to do for your kid, and don't worry about nothing else. And be ready to kind of give your life up for them because you're all they got, really. You know what I mean? I don't want to. I'm not trying to leave and go over there now, but I feel like I have to. She's got something that she's got to go to in the morning, and if she stays at her mom's house, she ain't going to it. Yep, I remember you. I definitely know your name. Hey, yo, if you would, if you're gonna be up, I would really appreciate it if y'all come back in like 20 minutes. I'm about to end the stream real quick, but I do need some people to come through. I'm trying to play some Fortnite. I'm trying to get my mind off of it. I'm probably gonna be up all night. And yeah, that's the deal. And I would really appreciate it if y'all come back. If you can, hit the like button real quick for me. But I gotta end the stream. I'm gonna go pick my daughter up, and then I'll be right back. Is that a 10-4? And it's really good to see you two go, Cipher. Source of different races, but I think the way it should be is 2000. Yeah. All right, word. I'll see y'all soon, homie. Pray for me.